feels so good to be doing a video again. It's been far too long. I will talk a little bit about that at the end of the video. But I know that a lot of you come to my channel to watch the decor, so I'm not gonna be rambling a lot in the beginning of the video. If you're new, hi, my name is Nina. I am a Norwegian lady doing these YouTube videos on decor, on farmhouse living, on how it is to live in Norway, and yeah, basically my life. And in today's video I thought that I would show you how I have made my centerpiece, my fall table centerpiece. And I've already made one and it's very big. I'm going to show you, but first I thought I would show you how I made it. It's really simple, but some of the, or one of the things I'm using might be hard to come by, I don't know. And that's this, what you see behind me. I have struggled so hard to find the English word. In Norwegian this is called korn. It sounds like, and it's almost written the same as corn, but corn in English is what we call mice, which sound like maize, which I know that some English people, English talking people call corn. Yeah, but grain, but it's kind of grain on a stick. I have no idea what that is called in English, but that's what I'm using. I have and what is the name of this type of grain? It doesn't matter. I have been so lucky that some of our closest friends live on a farm, and it's not their farm, but they asked the farmer if I could come and steal a little bit of their grain, and they were gracious enough to say yes. So I picked, together with my friends and my husband, a big bucket of grain on a stick, and that is kind of the main ingredient of my fall table centerpiece. When I think of fall, I think of the yellow fields of grain and sunflowers. So that's another thing I'm going to use. And then I have used this flower foam. This is the kind for dried flowers. I don't know in your country. In Norway this was ridiculous expensive and I had to buy a lot. So I think these and the sunflowers were the most expensive. If you have been with me for a while, you have seen this before. This was gifted to me by my near and dear friend that passed last year. So I've been loving to do my decor in this. This year I'm not going to use this on my dining room table because, as I said, I have made a huge one. This one is going on my coffee table, but it's a bit smaller and easier to show, so that's what I'm going to make the decor in. And then I've used some fairy lights, one string of fairy lights, and I'm sure that you can get the kind of spray you use on dried flowers. I couldn't find that here in Norway, so I have used my hairspray. and I hope it's going to work. I actually don't need it because I'm going to use the decor inside, but if you have been in a field of grain on a stick, you know that they can have fungi, if it's plural, yeah, and that's not good for the lungs. So that's the only reason, and we are very allergic to pollens, and there can be a lot of pollen on it, so that's just something to have on your mind when you're doing this. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'll get started and show you how I made my centerpiece. This is going to be a bit of a mess. You're soon going to see it. So I have not decorated my house or cleaned it yet because I knew I was going to do this. But of course the first thing I do is put the foam inside of the container. You could do this big or large. I have already made, as I said, a huge one, and then I'm making this, and I probably also will be making some really small ones. I like it when the foam is really tight, so I'm going to get a knife and put in some more. So I'll just cut through. The foam is going to show, so it's probably wise to, or try to be gentle when you're handling the foam, not making too many dents in it because it will show later on. See? I'm just eyeing this. Almost. Like that. It's tight and nice. And then I do the fairy lights because once the grain on the stick is in, it's difficult. So don't have to. I used these with the lights on a metal wire. You can use whatever you like if you choose to do this. Of course it's in a big knot. Okay, I just had to get all the knots out. I probably should use something because this fairy light is much longer than the container I'm using. But I'm just, no, I think I have, okay, that didn't work. On my large container, the container is as long as the cord, but you could use something to kind of hold it in place. I don't want to do that because I don't want to make holes in the foam that I don't have to make. So I'm just going to, but be aware that once the grain is in, it's very difficult to place the fairy light. So I'm going to do it, kind of swirl it around while I'm putting the grain into the container, into the foam. So now I have that ready, and then I'm going to take maybe 5 sunflowers for this container, and I have the big one I made, centerpiece I made, is actually too high. It's too late to change that now, but if I had done it again, I think I would have made it not so high. So be aware of that as well, that we feel a bit like eating on opposite sides of what is called hedge. This is going on kind of on the side of the coffee table, so I'm not too worried about this, but yeah, also something to think about. I'm angling the sunflowers a bit. Maybe I'm only going to use 4. I usually like to use an uneven number, but that's not always possible, but we'll see. And it's the same with the sunflowers. Once the grain is in place, it's hard to place the sunflowers, or if you want to use some other kind of flowers, without breaking the stems of the grain. Should I do one in the middle as well? No, I think I'll stick with the 4 for this container. So now comes the really messy part, and I did not want to do this outside because I don't want the grain to get damp. I don't want any moisture. It has been out in our garage for since we got it, and what I do is, and it's kind of nice if they're not on the same at the same length, so I'm not too worried about that. And I cut around, yeah, you cut it to whatever length you want, and then I remove the kind of this part of it. And now when you have a bouquet of this grain on the stick, I'm sure everybody who knows what this is called is now screaming at the phone or the computer or the television. Please tell me in the comments what it's called. Now it's as easy as just, and you have to be a bit careful because they're fragile, and try not to get them kind of like soldiers on standing in row. And gently place it into the foam. And as you can imagine, when you see how little this little bouquet is covering, you have to do a lot, but it seems like a boring job. It's not. It's not, at least not to me. It's kind of almost addictive. I thought. My grandson helped me make the larger one. What we found was that once you have placed, we were working from either side. If you do this with someone else, place the ones in the middle first and then work your way out, or as I'm doing now, start at the end furthest from you, or start in the middle and then turn it around. But it's difficult to place. Once you have placed some, it's difficult to kind of get in between without breaking them. Yes.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming. Golden, I'll follow on golden, golden, golden things. Number high five for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and hummingbirds singing. Golden, I'll follow on golden, golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, gold. I'll follow the golden, golden, golden things. Walk up the river by my son. Feet step over splinters of the moon. Golden.
And here is my centerpiece, fall centerpiece, all done. I think it turned out very cute. This one, as I said, is going on my coffee table. But as I also said, just let me put this down. I made a larger one. I don't know if you can see it. I'll turn the camera a bit down. As you can see, it's as long as my table. My husband made the box, wooden box, and I love it. But as I said, it feels a little bit like eating on each side of a hedge. We can just about see the heads of one another sitting across from each other. I may cut it in two and place it in the windows. I think that will be cute as well. Not this year. I'm going to keep it as a centerpiece this year, but maybe next year. Okay guys, I had to change my clothes. It's taken a long time. It was a lot of work, as you can imagine, but it's kind of a therapeutic type of work, so it was great fun to make those. I'll just sit down and I'll have a little chat with you. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and the centerpieces. As I said, it's the kind of decor that doesn't come across the same on camera as it is in real life. I don't know how easy it is for people to get the supplies for this. As I said, we knew the family that owned the crop, and they were very kind to say that we could cut in the kind of outer lines of the crop. I would guess that there would be a lot of farmers that would say that that's okay, and I don't know if it's easy or not easy to buy. Now it's too late. Of course I should have done this a few weeks ago, but maybe you can get an idea anyways for a centerpiece or any other kind of decor. Okay guys, as I said earlier, there's a lot of things going on in my life that makes it hard for me to be on a schedule when it comes to videos. I'm putting out as many as I can, and that at the moment is turning out to be not so many, but I will do a full house tour and kind of the the most important videos, and every video in between that I feel I'm up to. As I've said in earlier videos, I'm struggling with my health, both my physical health and my mental health, and there's a lot of things going on. I have been the last few weeks I have been working towards kind of decision on if I'm going back to work or not. It's kind of leaning towards not at the moment, and that has been so hard to kind of realize that I may not work as a teacher again, or a social worker, or in any kind of work. And that may seem strange to some of you when you see what I'm doing in my videos, but making videos where I can schedule everything myself and kind of do things, use as long as I want to do things, and do it when I'm feeling good. That's a lot different than being employed somewhere. So yeah, so that has been kind of almost like an existential crisis, if you will like. It sounds dramatic and strange, but that's how I have been feeling. But if the worst is to happen and it's decided that I'm not going back to work, at least I'll have more time for YouTube. So that is kind of, I started my YouTube channel when I kind of fell out of work or decided that I needed a break, and YouTube was kind of the way I kept busy. It made me be creative, which is so important for me. And it also, the most important thing, made me connect with all of you. So that's kind of what I'm trying to focus on now. My possibilities going forward. It's not like I kind of have to decide that I'm never going back to work, but I have needed help to realize my kind of limits, and I'm kind of I have this kind of good girl syndrome where I always want to serve and please and be as good as I can. So it has been very difficult, but it's a time for everything. This year fall feels a bit like I feel. If you have been with me for a long time, you know that I don't like fall. But this year I feel like fall and me are kind of on the same vibe, if you like. So I'm embracing it, loving it, and just have to work my way through this. You guys have been such a blessing. Thank you so much for all your wonderful comments, all your great advice, for sharing your stories, for keeping me in your thoughts and in your prayers. It all means a lot. So I just thought I would kind of keep you updated. I know at least I get quite invested in my favorite YouTubers, and a lot of you have been reaching out asking if I'm okay. I don't mean to have this kind of unannounced breaks from YouTube. There has been a few of those now the last year, but that's the only way I can do YouTube now. And it's hard to plan. I can feel one day that tomorrow I could do a video, and then tomorrow comes and I'm not up to it, and then one tomorrow turns into a lot of tomorrows, and the weeks pass so fast. So yeah, so I can't promise that this won't happen again until I kind of get my ducks in order, but I feel optimistic, and I hope I can come in some kind of schedule when I'm feeling better. So, but now I will decorate my house. I'm so tired of my house. I was wondering if I was going to paint this dining room green, like an olive green-ish, but I don't know. It's our house, it's kind of getting old and torn, so it needs a lot of TLC, and I have been neglecting it for a long time, so I have a lot to do, but I promise I will be back with a fall house tour at some point. I have plans for Halloween. If I'm able to see them through, I don't know, but we'll see. So I'll see you when I feel like I'm able to do a video, and in the meantime I hope you all have a wonderful time, that you're all well. Yeah. Okay guys, love you lots. Bye.